Hey guys, how you doing today? This is David Lucas back here again. Welcome back to my channel. Yep, it looks like it's that time of the year, everyone. It's that time of the year for The Mandalorian. And in this time around, we're on Mandalorian Season 2. Yes, guys, Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 1, The Marshal, has just dropped today. And I watched it this morning, right? Woke up real early this morning before work and everything, and watched it right then and there. And damn, I loved it. I love this episode. It may be my favorite episode so far. Now, you guys already pretty much know my thoughts on Mandalorian the first season. I really liked it a lot. I did a recap of the first couple episodes of it just to kind of give my thoughts on the first kind of episodes, and I did a whole season review. I'm probably going to end up doing the same for this one, you know, depending. I might do a full episode by episode to do all the episodes by review, or I might do the same thing, the first couple episodes review, and then do a final review at the end of the whole season. That's something I might do. You know, I might still do that. But now, enough talking, on to the actual episode, and let's just talk about it. The basic whole plot of this episode, of the first episode of Season 2, is it starts out right, basically, where maybe like a week or something like that after the first season ended, and Mando and the baby are basically on a hunt to find new Mandalorians. And in this quest of finding new Mandalorians, he stumbles across Tatooine, and we come back to Tatooine again, like from the first season, and we have some characters returning from the first season, I believe from episode 5 of the first season of Mandalorian. We have some characters returning, which is cool. It was cool to see that he's still keeping contacts, and he's kind of building up, you know, a little crew, not necessarily a crew, but a good, you know, some contacts. He's building up some contacts for him, which is cool. Leads him to finding a guy named Kavanth, who is a marshal in this town in Tatooine, and he's wearing a familiar Mandalorian armor. And now, right off the bat, I just gotta say that what I really loved about this season, what I noticed when it first started, was just the feel of it. It felt like, alright, we are picking up right where the last one, you know, left off. It doesn't feel like another director came and did something completely different. It doesn't feel like it's a completely other story. Because some shows would do that. Some shows, you know, after season 1, the next season is basically like a completely revamped season and everything, which works for some shows, it works. But I like it with this show, how it's basically a straight up just continuation of the last season, with cinematography wise, character wise, and everything wise. It feels like, alright, this is just a few months maybe right after the last season ended. Also, too, what I noticed in this first season, like in the very first kind of scenes, we get Mandalorian walking into basic kind of like a boxing range, like a Morrison boxing range, something like that. And he ends up, you know, coming across some guys, and, you know, natural Mandalorian stuff goes down, if you know what I mean. And then Yoda, basically the young baby Yoda, the child, kind of looks over, and right when he sees Mando, you know, start his little hummingbirds or whistling birds, whatever they call it. He had the whistling birds technique thing. The child looks at it, puts the thing in, and goes away. And then you kind of get the sense that, alright, he's starting to catch on now. He's starting to learn, and he's starting to become smarter even, maybe even growing and everything like that. And he started to understand, alright, this time I look away. Alright, time to hide. And he's starting to get that. He's starting to catch on, which I like that a lot. It shows growth in his character. Now, what makes this episode so great to me, in my opinion, is that for the first time ever, Star Wars and Lucasfilm is not shying away from the books. And they literally took a character from the books, from the Aftermath series, Chuck Wendig's Aftermath series, which I really love those books. They are very underrated books, in my opinion, Star Wars books. And he takes a character from him, a marshal named Kavanth, who basically had Boba Fett's armor after Boba Fett came out from the Sarlacc pit. And he became a marshal of this town, wearing Boba Fett's armor. Well, they bring that guy in here, and they bring him in, and Timothy Olyphant plays him. I'm pretty sure that's how you say his last name, Timothy Olyphant. And Timothy Olyphant basically always kind of plays, you know, those kind of characters, a bounty hunter type character. So this works perfect for him in here. And he's perfect for Kavanth, and he looks good in, like, the costume. You can tell it's not Boba Fett. Like, when he first shot, like, the first shot you see him, you can tell it's not Boba Fett, but it fits him well. It still fits him good, and I like that a lot. That's something I really liked, and I really liked the actor Timothy Olyphant playing him. I think he did a great job. And I really hope that later on in the season, we see more of him, and hopefully him and Mando end up, creating a partnership. And I really like that they kind of were learning from each other, and kind of, learning to be a little bit working, they work good together. That's kind of like the best way to describe it, is that they work good together. And you can tell that there's a, friendship building with them. And I really hope that, later on, we can see more of him and see more of that friendship build. Maybe, who knows, maybe Mandalorian might adopt him into his creed, and Mando's new creed, the Mudhorn, I think that's his creed's name. Maybe he becomes a Mandalorian, a part of him, because he is not a Mandalorian as of right now. The Marshal, he's not a Mandalorian, he's just some dude with, a sheriff guy, basically, that's just wearing Mandalorian armor. He's not a Mandalorian. Something cool, too, that I really liked about this season is that we get a very different perspective of the Sand People. And that's something we haven't had before, because so far, in basically everything, in A New Hope and Episode 2, the Sand People are kind of seen as bad people. They're seen as bad people. They're the ones who killed Anakin's mother. They're the ones who tried to kidnap Luke in A New Hope. And so we see them as bad people. From this perspective, though, from Mando's and Kavanth's perspective, we see them as, just other citizens. There's other citizens that are there, and they're all after the same cause, is to take out this monster, take out this worm that they're going after, that they all kind of team up to make a deal with, the attack. And we see a different perspective with these, the Sand People. They're offering drinks. They kind of have a little bit personality to them. And I really like that a lot. That now we see them from a different perspective. And we see that they just kind of do stuff just to survive. I mean, as messed up as it is. And as, it's not excusing the stuff that they've done. But they just do shit to survive. And that's really it, and we get a cool perspective of them with that, and I like that. I really do. I touched on it a little bit in the beginning, but I want to touch on it again, that what I really loved about this was kind of the relationship between Kavanth and Mando. They actually kind of have a good camaraderie together, and I think, because by the ending of it, we kind of see a little bit of Kavanth's character, and Kavanth honors his deal, and he gives back Mando the suit, the Mandalorian suit. The armor. And so we see with Ka that, yeah, he is an honorable man. He is a good man, and he does have respect for Mando. So that makes me really curious as to where they're going to go with this character that was just part of a few chapters in a book. And they made a whole cool, awesome character out of him that I'm really interested in see going forward what they do with him. And I can't wait for that. Oh, the big thing of this whole episode that has everyone talking is the final shot when Mando's driving off on the bike with the armor, with the Boba Fett armor, driving off to the sunset. You see the twin suns, and then it pans over, and then we seen some bald-headed guy standing there. And who is it? He turns around. It's Tamara Morrison as Boba Fett. Now, I know it's easy to say he could be any clone because Boba Fett's a clone, and Tamara Morrison plays all the clones, but I feel like by this time, every clone would be older, because you have to remember clones have a accelerated aging process. So like right now, the clones would be old, like kind of like 70, 80-year-old men basically right now, like we see with Captain Rex and Rebels. He's an older man. So we know that he is not one of those clones, and the only clone that doesn't have accelerated aging is Boba Fett. And he's, at normal age, 30, 40 years old. And he walks away and we're like, oh, okay, what are we going to do here? And that's maybe like the one thing that makes me a little nervous. That's like the one thing that makes me excited because, new character, blah, blah, blah. But then at the same time, I'm like, do we really need Boba Fett in here? Like, it makes me curious where it's going to go. Because I always felt like Boba Fett's a character where the less you have of him, the better. But it makes me curious, especially in the hands of Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. It makes me curious as to where they are going with this character, and I'm really interested with that. So that's basically my thoughts and review on the first episode of Season 2 of The Mandalorian. I loved it. I had a great time watching it. I liked the whole story. I loved the shots. I loved everything about it. I loved the surprises. I am interested in Hook already. I can't wait for next Friday to see where we go next in our journey with Mando and the child. I can't wait to see where we go. Can't wait to see more characters pop up. New other characters that we know already pop up, like Brief Karga and Cara Dune. Can't wait to see what they're up to. And then can't wait to see, too, like, more of the story that's going to be developed. Moff Gideon, more of him, more of the Empire, the remnants of the Empire. And we also heard, too, that in this season we end up seeing the seeds of what starts the First Order. So I'm really interested to see where we get with that. We were actually told in the very first, when the show was very first made, that we were going to get some of that. And we didn't get that in the first season, but we're probably going to get that in this next season, a little bit of that. So I am so excited for this next season. I can't wait to start doing more videos of this season and getting really delved and into more of the world of the Mando and the child. I can't wait to see more. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I always appreciate it, and it always helps out a lot. I always appreciate when you guys subscribe and give likes and comment. Always love it. And by the way, speaking of comment, make sure you comment down below and let me know what you guys think of this episode. Did you like the first episode of this season? Did it hit all the right buttons for you? Or were you kind of on it? Did it kind of lessen your excitement? Did you not like it as much? Always let me know down in the section below. I always like to know what you guys think about it. I always like to know your guys' different opinions. And always just love to hear and talk with you guys in the community. I love the community. And until next time, guys, I'll see you later.